Hello everyone, thank you for joining us today. My name's Matt Cross and we're going to play Demise of Species, a Forbidden Psalm miniatures agnostic skirmish game compatible with Mork Borg, or Mork if you're from Sweden. I have with me today my good friends Bobby and
What's
Eric.
up?
Hello.
And we're all going to dig into this game, teach you a little bit about what it is, and create some characters. So, Demise of Species is, like I said, a miniature skirmish game that uses the Forbidden Psalm rule set.
Awesome. For those of you who've played Forbidden Psalm.
And this is a standalone expansion that's separate. It's its own setting. It's its own theme. Mike Galosi and myself have been working on this, and we'll be publishing it through Geektopia Games. So this is kind of our playtest sessions, right? And we're just gonna dive in. Everything's subject to change. By the time the final product comes out, it will probably be a lot different.
Sweet.
But we got the beta rule book. It was just updated by Mike this week, and we'll take a look at it. Basically, to set to kind of explain a little bit, I've created a custom board that we can play on. It's 24 inches by 24 inches, but you can use any board that you want, or battle mat, or just the table, and mark off the space. And then I've painted up a bunch of miniatures. You'll see when we start playing that the characters are kind of warped, hybrid, mutated species. So we've got some interesting miniatures that we'll be using. I'll show off some of them here. But half bird, birdman, cat folk, swine folk, lots of fun craziness. And so you can use any miniatures that you have. You can proxy, something that looks similar, 3D print stuff, have fun with it, modify miniatures. And we're hoping to offer standees with the game as well. So, what do you guys think?
Yeah, let's
Sound
do
good?
it.
All right, let's talk about what it is first. So, the setting. So you can see we had some of the jungle terrain up. So this is influenced very much by the Origin of Species, Isle of Dr. Moreau, Dagon. Lovecraftian elements to it, and you can see some other inspirations as well on here. And the setting is the Lost Archipelago. So this is the game starts out, and your crew, each Bobby and Eric will have their own separate crews, but they will be playing against each other. But so the premise is that you are on a ship, you go into this maelstrom, you get kind of transported into this mystery dimension that is a very strange island, and you are shipwrecked on the shore. And then you will have to play through the story. There's a bunch of scenarios, and you can, as you see on the screen, you can play this in a variety of ways. So you can play competitive skirmish, which is the standard way, and that's the way we're going to do it. But you could also do cooperative, so you could both play kind of on the same team. You could just play role-playing, so there's a lot of text in here to explain how the story unfolds, and you can have a game master easily run players through this and use the Mork Borg rules. And you could also play this solo. We've played Forbidden Psalm a couple times solo, where everyone just kind of had their own character, and that was fun.
Yeah.
But so the solo rules are the same rules that you would use if you just had one crew of 5.
Right.
And those were good times. So the way it works is you're going to, we'll get some tape measures out, or we have some measuring tools. You're going to roll your dice and try to hit the difficulty rating, which is usually 12 unless otherwise specified. So you're usually rolling a d20, trying to, you add your modifiers, and then you'll hopefully get a 12 or more. I will show you that we have the character sheet all created, and we have some printed off too. So the character sheet holds 5 characters. The first page has the commander, so we'll be selecting a commander of your crew. And then below it, two more crew members. And then on the back side, there's 2 crew members at the top. And just some stats about your ship upgrades and your coins and your stash. There's also, in Forbidden Psalm, they have the concept of omens, and we call it storms in Demise of Species. So these are really powerful boons that you can use along the bottom. You can use one of these, or each of these one time during a scenario. And they do wonderful things like auto-pass a roll, or remove a down character.
Max damage.
So he doesn't die. Yes, or deal max damage. That's Bobby's favorite.
Yep.
Nice.
Only one that matters.
So there are rules to convert if you have a Forbidden Psalm crew that you would like to convert into Demise of Species. We give you the ability to do that. So you can bring in your other war bands, anyone war band that you could think of that kind of gets on the boat and crashes in the maelstrom and then ends up on this crazy island and has to figure out what to do. And so I think the next step would be to create a crew.
Create some characters.
And just jump into it. Alright, so we are going to create our crews. Eric's going to create a crew, and then Bobby.
Yes.
So Eric, we'll pick out our miniatures later, which I have a variety, but we'll wait to kind of see what species they are and everything. And then we're going to first figure out what species they are. We're going to give them a name.
Sweet.
And kind of go through that. So, roll a d8. As you see, there's 8 different species. Yeah, you can just do it right there. 6. Okay, so your first person is a rat folk, cunning and deceptive dwellers of the archipelago's underworld.
Cool.
So you'll get +1 presence. So just go ahead and note that, and we'll add it to whatever your presence is later. And you also get rat bite fever, and you gain a natural attack, bite, strength, d4 damage. Target tests toughness or becomes diseased. So just write down that you have rat bite fever.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be biting some people.
Yeah.
And sensitive sight, so you can see in the darkness, but you suffer -1 on attacks versus models which with or within 1 inch of a light source. So if you're next to someone with a light, you get a little bit of a negative.
Oh, yeah.
But that's great that you can see in the darkness, because I know the first scenario is at dusk.
Sweet.
And then you'll get tier 2 traits later. Those will get unlocked. So let's just keep making this character. Oh, we gotta do... You know what? We didn't name your crew. We should have done that first. Would you roll on both tables and then combine them? So a D100 twice. The percentile and the tens, yeah.
72.
So you are the rackful, and then roll it again.
65. Right?
Trailblazers.
65.
Yeah.
The rackful Trailblazers.
Sick.
And yeah, there's not a spot
So
to write
that-
on that
yeah,
because
it's
the
actually
main
gonna
crew
be
sheet,
on the
yeah,
main
the
crew
bigger
sheet.
sheet.
Oh, word. Yeah.
It'll be
So
a-
so he's going through and he's gonna kind of write on the crew name at the top of this sheet here.
Ah.
Okay, Bobby, let's see here. Go ahead and roll your crew name.
Crew name first. All right. Got 10.
10. So you're the bereft. Off to a good start.
Love it. Okay. And 40.
Victims. The bereft victims.
Species.
That's it. Species time.
I need your D8, I think.
No, hold on a
How's it
second.
be?
Let's go through Eric's character all the way.
Word.
Go ahead and let's give it a name.
Yeah.
You can roll a D100 and do half of it.
Okay. One texture.
Oh. Yeah, it's on there.
85.
So what's half of that?
Gosh.
We'll do
42 and a half.
42.5.
42. So you could be Darina or Cornelius. Feel like Cornelius?
Cornelius is a good rat name.
Yeah, that's a great name. That is a great rat name.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. that's perfect.
Roll it again and get your surname.
Okay.
We got surnames.
47.
So half of that is
23 and a half. 23 or 24?
Jansen or Lee. You can pick.
Lee.
Cornelius Lee.
And then give yourself a nickname. Roll this again.
83. Half that is 41.
1.5.
Man.
Can be Zodiac or Dandy.
Dandy.
Dandy. Oh my gosh.
They call him Dandy.
There's never been a better rat folk.
Yep.
Now,
Dandy Cornelius Lee.
one of your characters will be your commander. And so we can select this later, or you could pick someone now. Just keep in mind that someone gets some extra abilities and is like your leader, and they can be the naval officer, the conquistador, the musketeer, etc. Also, world eras, which I don't want to get too deep into this, but you should pick a world era that you come from. It's kind of the metaverse, the multiverse, right?
That's really cool.
So, if you're coming from, Forbidden Psalm has a cyberpunk game called Kill Sample Process. They have The Last War, which is World War, the Great War. So if you were bringing in a character from something else, you would pick this. I think our people will probably be Age of Exploration or Age of Sail.
I mean, we're Darwinian at this point.
So we'll think about that and come back to it. But yeah, if you had a D&D campaign or something, you were bringing people some fantasy, you'd say medieval, right?
Right.
Or antiquity. So cool. Before we play next session, we'll pick that, and then your stats. So this character, you need to give them plus. You can be kind of really good and really bad, +3 and a -3 in there, and the stat block, or you can be kind of even keeled. I kind of like that, the +2, and then you pick which you want: strength, agility, presence, and toughness.
Okay.
So go ahead and do that for this character.
Yeah, I think Dandy is all or nothing. He's going to be the first type.
Oh.
He's like... he's all in on this. Yeah. So I get to spread +3, +1, 0, and
Yeah, and you
-3.
can pick if you want him to be strong or...
Well, he's a Raz. He has tons of agility, so that's going to be his +3.
Yeah.
I think he's a +1 strength. I'm going to do the 0 on my presence because I already have a +1 there, and I'm going to do my -3 on the toughness because,
Cool,
Yeah,
so...
that's a small guy.
They don't
So to that point, as you notice on here, the health, your hit points is your health, and it's 8 plus your toughness. So what was your toughness? It was -3. So you're 5 hit points.
Okay, there goes my heart.
Yeah.
All right, I can work with that.
Yeah.
Note to self: make it toughness.
Well, I'll just spread it out. So now we got to roll flaws and feats. So go ahead and roll a flaw for this character. It's a D20. Let me switch to the dice cam.
Coming in hot.
There you go.
19.
19.
Nice.
All right, broken. At the start of each scenario, roll a D6. Now on a 4 up, this model begins dazed.
Nice.
So we'll talk about some of these keywords like dazed. in a little
D6,
bit.
4 up, dazed. Okay.
And then go ahead and get your feet. These are good.
Okay.
Another
D20
D20,
again.
yeah.
Coming in. 1.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Monkey grip.
Yeah.
Climb at
Okay.
full speed, and your movement may climb. So normally you have to move, on level ground. That's great.
That's a really good one,
Great.
actually.
Yeah.
That's a great one for
That'll
this
come in
style
handy.
of game. Oh my gosh.
All right, so then we will go back after we do all this. Probably not on camera because this takes a little thinking.
Sure.
But you start off with 50 gold. You got to spend 5 for the commander. So you got 45 gold, and then we go through and we give everyone, you know, some gear. So presence is your stat for shooting. So, you know, the ranged characters, that have good presence, we'll give them some of that. Now, you don't have a lot of money, and there's a campaign, so we're going to progress the campaign. You'll get more resources, but at the beginning, you don't have much. So many people will be using very primitive tools. And
fisticuffs
and a light source is on here, so a torch and a lantern, things like that, are going to be pretty important to look at. Let me bring up my view there. So so I was talking about weapons. They're on here, and then the gear, and you just go through and you kind of just make sure you can keep whatever money you have left over, and give people, you know,
spend it all.
You're not going to be getting blunderbusses for everybody at the beginning, right? You're going to be daggers and
staffs.
And staffs, yeah. And then armor.
Sword?
Yeah.
Armor's armor will negate some damage.
3 more rounds.
It's a little different than in Mork Borg. So yeah, it's also, everyone's probably going to start with some padded armor, but we're going to try to get people up to leather and more over time.
Cool.
States and properties are in the book, and this is a good reference page. I think, what was the one that we saw? Dazed. So dazed is make a presence test to activate. On a failure, the model can only move. On a success, they're not dazed anymore.
Right.
So you start that way every time, I guess.
Oh, that's tough.
That's his flaw.
That's a tough one.
And then there's pets that'll be fun. I did get a monkey.
Oh, that's what's up.
That I was gonna paint, and a ghost crab. We have some crabs. We have lots of crabs that I use for the skull scuttlers. So, and then the spot is a fun concept. So there's lots of really fun thematic things going on in this game that I'll leave for you to kinda discover on your own. But the ritual codexes and the calamities are a big part of Forbidden Psalm. So you'll have these rituals that you can do, and then things go very poorly, and if you have to roll on the calamity table,
That's where you start to get hurt.
we've got ancient codices and eldritch codices as well, which will come up, and we'll keep making our characters, but I think it might be fun to just kind of talk a little bit about the rules or how you set up the game, because people might be wondering. So how this works is you're going to pick the scenario. Obviously, we're going to start with scenario 1, but you can kind of play whatever scenarios you want, and you set it up according to the rules. There will be a page that shows you, where the miniatures are deployed, what terrain you should use, what kind of threats are there.
Awesome.
You'll check and see if there's any conditions. Is it night? Is it storming? Is it, what have you? You'll do your dark ritual, and then figure out who goes first. There's rounds in each scenario. I'll tell you how many rounds. It's usually like 6, but some are more and less. When you're making tests, as normal, a 1 is a fumble, a 20 is a crit. Movement is 5 plus your agility, so you can write that on your character sheet,
nice.
Eric. 5 plus your agility in the little boots.
Okay.
Yeah. And the shield on there.
Nice skirt.
That's nice, dude.
I'll show the sheet real quick.
Speedy rat.
The sheet, you'll have the shield is where you'll put any armor that you
Yeah.
have, right? And then your feats, your flaws, it's all on the sheet here.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
You activate your model. We take turns.
Yep.
You do one, then Eric does one, then Bobby does one, then Eric does one. Combat is very fun. Now there's monsters too. So I said you go, but the monsters will have a turn
also
each
good
time
to
too. And I'll be playing as the monsters, but it doesn't really matter. Everyone can do that. They're a threat to both of you.
Yep.
And so there's rules on how to do range attacks, how to apply damage. You roll dice. Dragging models if they're down. A model that's down isn't dead until it takes some more damage, and then it is. So it's good to get them off the board. Morale, you'll be making morale rolls, and there is a concept of grisly trophies, which you can dive into. But untimely demise, everyone always asks about what happens. How do I die? So once you get to 0 hit points, you're downed, and you just lay your guy face up. And then if you take any more damage, you land
Dead.
face down and you're done. So when you roll at the end, you have to pass a death save. So potentially dead.
Right.
Probably dead.
Right.
Borg, if you're not familiar, Morkbury is a very brutal game. Death is common. You're creating 5 characters on your crew, but each round. And when someone dies, you can recruit a new person for free.
Yeah.
You can pay to kick someone off.
Highly expendable characters.
Yes. You'll always have 5 crew members. This island that you have been shipwrecked in has many people being shipwrecked all the time. People are going into this portal.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
People trying to escape whatever they were previously oppressed by.
A fun part is treasure. There's a treasure table, but a lot of scenarios have their own treasure table, and that's what we're here, right? Is trying to get some treasure, right? Yep. Conditions, like we talked about at the beginning of the game, you see is it heavy rain, high winds,
storms.
Yeah. The storms I mentioned earlier. These are things that you can do because it is a brutal game. You can do these things one at a time, or you can do each of these storms once each scenario. So, it's always good to save your, reroll on the treasure table for when you really think you can benefit from it. There's injuries, and then hostiles. So you will be out in the jungle,
in addition to the monsters,
on the beach at first, but then venturing into the jungle, and there's a lot of hostiles. So there's a cool flowchart on how
that's cool.
How you might decide, but it's very intuitive. You don't need the flowchart.
Yeah.
You take the miniature and you roll 2d6, and that's how far it can move.
Got it.
And then you go and attack. If it's got
12 inches,
4-inch
board.
That is.
Yeah.
It's a lot of movement.
Well, you're rolling though. It could be
be
2, right?
Yeah. It is.
So, but then if they get in range of you and they have melee weapon, they'll get. If they're in range of a ranged weapon, if they don't have ammo, they'll reload. It's very simple. And there's a concept of riposte and fighting back. Anytime you're in melee, both teams get to kind of fight. So the rat master, the torch runners, the marooners, skull scuttlers, which I spent a lot of time making a bunch of skull scuttlers. I think too many. But I like them. I use those for Pirate Borg too, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
I shouldn't have told you that.
Absolutely.
Now you're going to be like worried about skull scuttlers. Lizard folk, stillwalkers, warp pigs, warped wildlings. I went crazy with these things.
That's awesome.
And just kind of have some really grotesque looking minis for this.
Could be anything.
But yeah. And
cool.
I don't want to spoil everything for everybody, but there's a lot of funness in here. And so let's just look. So when you play, there is some, for RPG purposes, there's a lot of kind of background and things to prompts and hooks. But then between each scenario, there's 3 acts, and in the first act, between each scenario, you're going to roll on this table, and some crazy, probably bad stuff is going to happen to you. And then here's an example of the first scenario. So I'm not going to show all of them, but you got it looks like our board here. Flip over to the board. I've got shipwreck on one corner, shipwreck on the other corner. Then we'll set up the train. I'll wipe this and we'll set it up custom for you guys. You can alternate setting everything up. And yeah.
That's awesome.
Cool. Amazing artwork.
Yeah.
Thank you. I got to give credit to.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Give a lot of credit to Mike. He's a wizard with this stuff.
So, I really like just the freedom these games give. You know what I mean? There's just so much that you can do that it's just untethered.
It's always a crazy story.
It's always different, and it's just I love that aspect.
All right, let's create the rest of our characters. We will no doubtedly create a few characters that can only use 2-handed weapons and only have one hand. So you just kind of got to roll with it.
It's kicking.
It's evenly miserable for both of you. So don't worry about it. But I'll go back up here to all the way back to the beginning. And, we did we start with the species, then you give it a name,
That'd be cool.
the era. At some point, select a commander.
Right.
We put stats on it. We do a flaw, a feat. You can optionally after this swap some flaws, which is kind of helpful.
Oh, okay.
Kind of for the reason that I just said.
If it
Yeah,
just
yeah,
doesn't
If
make
it's,
sense.
you know, yeah.
Yeah.
And this game is
Yeah.
supposed to be fun,
Yeah.
so feel free to change things.
Reroll.
Right. Especially when you're creating, and especially like a name. If you don't like the name, who cares, right? So, and then we'll spend our $50, our 50 gold. And then, yeah, it says kit bash a model or cut out some standees or do something and get your models and get going.
Awesome.
All right. So, let's roll.
Let's
do you want
do
to
it.
do one? Should we go back and forth? You do
Yeah,
one
I'll do
now?
one now.
Just
Yeah.
so it's not
Yeah.
boring.
So you got one character and your
Got one
cool.
guy.
Let's do it.
I think species was a D8, right?
Species
Yeah, there's
first.
8 species.
All right, cool.
We wanted to do more and more and more, and it's like there's too many. It's too
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
So we
8
got
is
8 really good ones.
That's good.
So yeah, go ahead and roll a d8.
All right, great.
Oh, let me pull up the tray so you can see. Go ahead.
5.
5. So that is Hyena Men. So
Okay. That's
manged raiders that revel in blood and carnage. You're gonna get +1 agility. So whatever
Okay.
you pick at the end, you're gonna add that one to.
Oh,
your
another one on
agility.
top of it. Got it.
Yeah, and then frenzy. Each time you strike in melee combat, gain a frenzy token. For each token, deal and suffer 1 damage in melee.
Okay.
Gnashing teeth. Gain a natural attack, bite, agility, or strength, which is cool, and it's d6 damage. That's a nice gnashing teeth bite damage you can do. In provision, you can see in darkness except for models that are also in deep water. So there's there will be times when we're in deep water. And you're bloodthirsty. These hyena are bloodthirsty. They do not test morale to kill down models. Oh, normally you can't just kill a model that's down without suffering some insanity
Unless
and
you're a
being
hyena.
an evil bastard. But you can. Hyena men can.
I'm just gonna be eating people.
Yeah. And then there's some cool tier 2 traits
I
too.
know.
Yep. Not human. I don't think it's like a bad thing.
All right. Do you want to roll a name or pick one off this sheet?
Yeah. No. I'm gonna roll for it.
Cool.
So I got a 15.
It's a 7. You could be Yusuf.
Yusuf.
If you want to be Liam, you can.
I like Yusuf.
Yusuf. All right. Roll again for your last name.
It's 12. So that's a 6, which is
Patel.
oh, okay.
And do a nickname.
$63.
We're doing the nickname, the King.
King, yes. I think that's my commander.
That should be. All right. Do you want to pick one of these commanders then while you're doing it?
Yeah.
I think this should be your commander.
Yeah, I think
the
this is
hyena
gonna,
man.
I think it's just going to be, yeah.
Would you like him to be a naval officer, a conquistador,
Oh man.
oathbreaker?
Let's do a. It needs to fit with my crew name. I think it's gonna be an oathbreaker.
That's great.
Yeah.
You can't. That model can't use storms.
Okay.
But you get +3 to any ability,
Oh wow.
and you start the scenario with a bastard's grenado.
Okay. Oh, that it
Pretty
pays
good.
to be the king, man.
Yeah. Okay, so you start with bastard's grenado. It's basically like a little bomb. We looked at a picture of it. What would you say that is?
It's
A
like
cannon
everything
bomb.
you would think of a 1400s grenade.
Yes.
Yeah. Homemade fireworks.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So, with that, we'll assign world eras later. I'll go ahead and give some stats to
Okay.
them if you would like to. You get +3 to any stat.
Yeah, I would get a
so-
+3 and a +1. mean, I think toughness is going to be like his strongest, which I'm going to give him a +5. So that'll be my 2. One of my 2s. And then, yeah, I'm going with the second one. And then I'll do a presence, I think, is going to have to be pretty high up there. So I'm going to give that one a +2. Strength is going to be a 0. And agility is going to be, what's that, a -2. Cool.
Perfect. Your hit points are 8 minus your or plus your toughness, plus or minus.
Oh, man, 8 plus my toughness. That is incredible. 13.
Well done.
It's not going down.
All right, well, let's get
Not
you a
going
flaw.
down.
Let's get you a flaw.
Yeah,
D20. And let me get the dice tray out.
Missed. 12.
12. Okay, your is your
Poor
flaws.
immune system.
You have a poor immune
Oh
system.
boy, but I'm tough. I'm not strong
well.
though. I'm not strong, so that works.
Auto fail test.
My agility's low.
Any disease.
He's not doing well.
Taking steroids or something?
Okay. Now give me a feat, man.
Okay, feet time.
Yeah.
All right, this will be better. D20.
13.
All right, you're ritualistic. So
Ooh.
+1 to casting from ritual codices. Choose and gain 1 ritual codex. Reroll if a model is a Puritan, which you are not. So we will get you a ritual codex.
Mm-hmm.
We should go do that now.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, I see. It's a D20. 11 through 20 is the Eldritch ones.
Ooh. Okay, come on. 4.
All right, you have Summon Spirit.
Okay.
And summon Abuka, a drowning spirit. It's not hostile to you or your crew unless it's attacked. It requires summoning salts, which are used on a successful ritual casting or on a fumble. Okay.
Nice.
That's everything
That's
for
good.
this guy.
I actually like your feet. Your feet's pretty great.
Monkey grab?
Yeah. Fine. I mean, it's going to come in such... It's going to
Go up the trees?
extremely handy. With, like, jumping on top of something or climbing into...
Agreed.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, should we take a look at another character for Eric?
Yeah.
Sure.
So I think we'll make some more characters. We might film some of it, but I think we'll do a lot of it off camera too. Kind of put your character sheet up on there, and so we can show this when we're playing the game. You know, we'll be able to kind of have it up there so you can kind of see what it is, and then we'll have the roles. And I've made a character sheet that is form fillable. So the digital one is form fillable.
Nice.
So you can use that as well. We might use that depending on how good this looks too. But yeah, there you go.
It looks great.
So that's our plan. So I think Eric, the next character, maybe you'll make your
I'll
commander.
try to make a good commander, yeah.
And Bobby and Eric, you can pick out some miniatures. Obviously, ones that I've painted. You got a rat folk.
Oh, no,
So call him
come on,
Rat.
that's pretty obvious that he's going to me, right?
One of those. Yeah, grab one of those.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Oh, sick, yeah. This is dandy. This is
Hold it up
Cornelius
under the
Lee.
camera so you can see it a little bit.
This here is Cornelius Lee. Oh, yeah,
Cornelius.
And that is 100% of Cornelius.
He's got like brass knuckles or something.
100%.
All right, and then you have a hyena man,
Hyena man.
which they have. These are like 3 different ones I rebased and kind of put a shade on.
Oh,
I'll grab one. It kind of depends on what your weapon
I
is.
like this one. I'm gonna stick with this one first.
Oh.
Yeah.
Freaking
All right.
call that thing he's holding? The swinging, like
Not a mace.
Flail.
A
Go ahead and roll a species.
Okay, I was about to ask you if my crew is mixed species.
Yeah. You can.
Okay.
Yeah, but you don't get to decide.
All right, D8.
I
for
take
the
that
speed.
back. You can decide. I mean, people could make their teams
Sure.
however they
All
want.
hyenas,
Right?
or
Yeah.
all rats.
I have more cat miniatures,
Yeah.
cat folk miniatures than others.
You
So
do-
please
Yeah,
roll
please,
one.
I want to roll a cat. It's a 2.
2.
Not a cat.
That is lizard folk.
Nice.
All right. I have some miniatures here. I put out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This guy here in the middle. It's a lady. It's a lady lizard. From table.
Yeah,
D100s.
name table time. Yeah, go ahead. D100.
31.
31 is Dorothy.
Dorothy. Okay. And the surname.
Yeah.
85.
Ahmed.
Ahmed.
Dorothy Ahmed. And we definitely need a nickname.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because nicknames are
It's
the
not
best.
going by Dorothy.
That's a 6.
Oh,
Or 3.
yeah. So 3 is Stains.
Stains?
Oh.
Oh, it's
Nice.
dirty lizard.
Lizard stains.
And you can pick what type of commander this person might be.
I don't know if I want to make her the commander.
You don't have to.
No, I don't think.
Okay.
I think I want to
Wait,
have a
we'll
chance.
wait.
and see.
We'll wait.
That's a good call, actually.
All right, go ahead and give some stats to her, and
Yeah.
I'll pause the video while you do it.
Okay.
I'll go back here and we'll add your lizard traits.
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh.
Primitive and territorial swamp dwellers. You get +1 strength,
Nice.
and you have savage bite. Gain a natural unarmed attack, which is bite, strength, and it's a d6 damage. You're amphibious, so you automatically pass all swim tests. And you're xenophobic. You
Ooh.
suffer -1 to morale tests for each non-lizard folk member of your crew.
I mean, you're a
Oh,
you're a lizard.
that might be
yourself.
tough.
Lizards are all xenophobic.
Everyone knows
Always. Everybody knows this.
that. Health, go ahead and mark your health as 8 plus your toughness. And put that in the little
10.
heart.
It's not. She's tough.
She is tough. She got help.
And roll a flaw, d20. Here, let me put the dice tray
Let's
up.
see. Coming in. 12.
12. You have poor immune system also.
No.
Auto fail test against any and all diseases. That could be worse, but that will inevitably come up and not be good.
All right. Let's get a
Let's get a
let's
feat.
get a feat. 14.
14 is decree. As an action, give an immediate free action to a visible ally within 6 inches. That's amazing.
That is really cool.
Extra action. So it's going to be a bossy lizard person.
Hey, you one-handed guy.
All right, should we do one more?
Yeah, let's
do
do
one
it.
for Bobby.
Let's do it.
This maelstrom and
Yeah.
the lightning and clouds and wind and you body contorts and changes and
What,
you
out
grow.
pops a
Out pops feathers.
a bird,
A
man.
beak.
Oh man.
Yes.
Yes.
Can you make the bird sound like Birdman the rapper?
Like the Birdman.
You know,
Yeah.
I can't. I'm
Great
not gonna try to
movie.
do it. So, avian
Yeah,
beastmen
dude.
forgotten by the winds. +1 presence.
Okay.
Talons.
Yes.
Sharp talons.
Yes.
Is your attack. And carry-on feeder. You can feed on a dead model to heal D4
Whoa.
HP. You don't have to test
Okay.
morale like normally.
Carrion bird,
Or a
man.
vulture.
Or a bald eagle.
You
At
cannot
this point.
use herba buena or medicinals.
Okay.
We'll note all that down later.
No man's food.
Let's give him a name.
Great.
A bird-like name, please.
Oh, I mean, we can do rerolls, right? 65.
A guy would be Edgar, a girl would be Corey,
We'll do Edgar.
Edgar.
Edgar's a good bird name.
All right, roll
Yeah.
roll again a couple times.
All right. 84. So 42.
42 is the last name would be. Oh, we have that. Roll again unless you wanted it to be an Ahmed. Did you have an Ahmed already?
He had Ahmed.
Nah,
Unless they're rivaling.
I don't know.
Lizard bird.
13, so
Patel.
We already got a Patel.
Is that on
too.
your team?
Yeah.
Okay, third time.
So it could be on your team. It could be brothers or sisters or whatever,
Yeah, okay. I like that.
if you want. And then give him a nickname.
The king. Let's see. So that would be
Long coat.
long coat. Okay.
That's cool for a
That's
bird.
cool. Yeah.
All right, here, take a look. Who do you want?
Oh, I mean, coat for sure. This guy.
That is a long coat.
All right.
All right, cool.
Hit points,
Oh yeah.
and you got to pick. Yeah,
Alright, so
assign some
I'm
stats
gonna
to
do-
him.
Oh, let me make this completely opposite of what his brother was.
Yeah, you got to diversify.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's gonna have.
Oh, and they're opposite
yeah,
brothers.
yeah. It's like twins. Let's see. So they're gonna be a
Glass.
Yeah. So I don't know, Eric. Do you want to do one more and try to get yourself a commander, and then we can just do the rest later, and then next
Yep.
video we'll dive into an actual play of the game. And
sweet.
cool. All right.
Oh, 3 again. There we roll that. You already had a Birdman.
You don't want another Birdman? All right, go again.
What do we get a cat? 2.
Two.
Lizard folk.
Lizard.
Do you have
Yeah,
a
let's do
lizard?
another lizard.
Another lizard.
Yeah, let's do
Okay.
another lizard. Let's do it.
They were holding on to each other when they went through the portal.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so name will be 50, 25.
25 would be Vladimir or Alice.
Vladimir.
Fantastic. All right.
Yeah, they're like in love with each other. They were hugging when they went through the portal, so
Last-
they're both turned into a lizard.
Last name 38. That's what is 18?
18,
16?
19.
19? Oh gosh.
There we go. It's
Last
even
name
number two.
is Griffith.
Vladimir Griffith.
And give him a good nickname.
I'm guessing it's a lisp. He's a lizard.
Like Slytherin.
Vladimir Griffith. Griffith. 88, 44.
Okay, your nickname is Squeaky.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he's gonna be the commander because he's a little bit weird. That's cool.
All right. What kind of weird?
Just like a little odd with how he speaks.
What type of commander is he gonna be?
He will be a. He must be.
Swashbuckler. So you get the swashbuckler feat, which will add, you have a grappling hook, a rapier, a musket, and +1 agility. So give yourself
Great.
+1 agility too.
Okay. Speaking of this, he's commander, so he's like an all or nothing guy.
Yeah, he's gonna be a badass.
He's gonna be +4 agility.
Nice.
It's gonna be +1 presence. He's not very strong because he's a commander, so he's -3 strength. And he's 0 on his attack.
Oh
Talks a big game.
And so
Yeah.
that means your toughness is 8, or your hit points is 8.
Yeah, no, he can. That's
And give yourself, what was the feat that you got? Swashbuckler. So you
Yeah.
get Swashbuckler as a feat just in addition to everything else. After jumping or using a grappling hook and ending within 1 inch of an enemy, you get a free attack against that enemy. That's great.
Man.
And then roll a flaw, and then we'll do a feat too.
Another 4, that was a D20.
Yeah, it's the D20, yep.
5.
Okay, Curse of Tithings. After each scenario, you must throw 5 gold into the endless sea,
Oh Jesus.
as long as your crew has it.
Great.
So if you only have 4, you can just throw the 4.
That's so
After
sad.
every round.
That's so sad.
You're gonna need to
So
get
no one,
extra.
no one on my crew gets any money because I gotta
No.
throw it in the water.
Everybody's like, why is he doing
I need
that?
this money to throw it.
Why is
This
he-
person might get sacrificed. That's your commander,
Yeah,
though.
That's
Yeah.
Commander. Yeah, mutiny.
He's-
Mutiny.
Everyone hates him.
Go ahead and give yourself another feat. Maybe make up for it.
10.
Mithridates. After being exposed once, this model is immune to the effects of a particular poisons.
Mm.
Oh, like so after you hit
hit
it
it
once,
once,
then
you're
you're
immune to
good.
it.
Okay, I like that. That's great.
Nice.
Great. So you got some commanders. We will make the rest of our characters, and we will let's see, pull this up, and we will put our stuff out. We'll go through a scenario
Yep.
next time. It'll be really fun. I am going to show off just one more thing before we close. So just showing off some more of the rule book. Obviously, this is all work in progress, and much of it will change. But lots of the poisons. So you can go to the poisoner, and you can buy some of this. You see, there's gold cost for everything, or the herbalist, or the ritualist. And I think we even mentioned summoning salts earlier to do one of your.
Yep. the
You'll have
codex.
to pay for some salts each time. Curios. I mean, this is loaded with awesome content. Some I don't want to spoil anything, and even a timeline. So I hope everyone is kind of interested in this game. I hope that we showed it off in a cool way, and we'll make some more content. We're a little bit new at this,
Right.
but we're gonna keep
Learning
filming
with you.
and trying to show off this game because it's going to be really fun and it's going to come out soon. So stay tuned. Follow us for more. I'm Dystopia Matt on Instagram and Twitter, X, and other places. We have the Creepy Well on Facebook group that you can join. It's a lot of discussion about Fearsome Wilderness, the board game and role-playing game I created, but there's just a community. And also you can follow along with Geektopia Games, which will be the publisher of this game. So thank you again, and have a great rest of your day, everyone. Talk to you later. Bye.